It will be the WRC coming up. Exactly 110 days to go to the FIFA World Cup. Many fans are already thrilled, looking forward to the dates. Remember, it will be the United States of America, Mexico, not forgetting Canada, that will be hosting the FIFA World Cup. Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Amfa Pidi, and of course seated here, ready to take you through highlights of what's been making headlines. But the key topic this afternoon will be the FIFA World Cup. How prepared are the three host cities to host the World Cup? We are thrilled to be joined by a very distinguished guest this afternoon, who will be taking us through, what to expect. A lot to talk about and lots of excitement in studio. I'm joined in studio. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Most welcome. How are you doing, Ambassador?
Good.
Oh, very thrilled. I hope you could do some Sikuti dance, Thank you very much. And feel at home. Please have a seat. Have a seat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the security team.
Wonderful.
Viewers back at home, this is how we welcome our guests in studio, and of course this is how we do it on KBC Channel 1. This afternoon we are privileged and honored to be joined by His Excellency Ambassador Joshua Taba, who is the ambassador, Canadian ambassador to Kenya, with us this afternoon. Remember, as mentioned earlier on, exactly 110 days to go to the FIFA World Cup. So many fans are thrilled. Everyone is waiting for that moment. The question is, who will it be this time round? Let's take the opportunity to welcome our guest this afternoon. First and foremost, Ambassador Joshua Taba. It's fantastic to have you in studio with us this afternoon. Welcome. And of course, fans across every corner of the world are looking forward and excited about the FIFA World Cup. As the ambassador who is helping put this together, we are thrilled to have you in studio this afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon. It's great to be here. I'm a big fan of the show, and I love talking sports, and so it's a great opportunity for me. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. First and foremost, even before we dive in, let's just get it. I mean, when it comes to sports, are you a casual fan? Are you a die-hard supporter? Or are you just in between there?
So if this is casual and this is die-hard, I'm over here. And so, sports have always been a really big part of my life. I did a lot of sporting things when I was young. My family does a lot of sports now. For me, it was always important to be active, a healthy body, a healthy mind. Recently, though, I've come to appreciate even more that sports brings people together in a way that other things don't. And so I love sports not just to practice or to watch them, but I'm a die-hard fan because of how communities can come together and play hard and play competitively, but then shake hands at the end.
Shake hands at the end. On a lighter note, as a die-hard fan, would you prefer penalty shootout or an extra time game done?
There's nothing like a golden goal.
Anymore.
And a shootout is hard. In hockey, for example, right now, they play an extra period of golden goal, and if they haven't resolved it, then they'll go to a shootout. So just to say I'm agnostic on that one. I was at the Rugby Sevens last week, a fantastic competition. So unfortunately, Canada didn't have any ties and didn't need to go to extra time, but I just wanted to say it was a fantastic tournament. The Kenyan hosts were excellent. But part of me being a fan is for the first time I got to meet the Canada men's rugby team. I'd never met them before. They came to my residence. We did a jersey presentation. Very important moment, especially for 2 or 3 of the players who had never been in an international competition for the senior team before. My whole family, we were at Nioa Stadium on Saturday to see the tournament. It wasn't a very romantic Valentine's Day, but we were very happy to be there. Kenyan team did great, finishing 3rd. The Canada team, which is new in Division 2, learned a lot, I think, and they appreciated the chance to be in the competition.
Well, just looking at the Canadian, history, even in the sevens, very big names, Longbottom, very big names coming out of the sevens. And it was nice seeing the Canadian team last weekend at the Nyayo National Stadium.
Yeah.
Let's now go into it. We all know that Canada is one of the 3 countries that's hosting the FIFA World Cup this year, exactly 110 days from now. Could you walk us through what makes this tournament a very vital, piece of art that's coming to Canada?
So this is as big as it gets in terms of global tournaments. And so Canada is holding its breath about this opportunity to welcome the world to Canada. It's only a few months away now, and there's so much excitement building. We're very thrilled to be able to host games in 2 of our cities, and this World Cup is different. This is the first time we've ever had a World Cup take place in 3 countries, and so it brings North America closer together. This is also the tournament where the World Cup will go through a major expansion and go from 32 teams to 48 teams and to over 100 different matches. And so it's going to be a massive tournament. It required more than 1 country to deliver it, and Canada's so excited to be a part of it this time.
And as we talk about, Canada and hosting this, we know the Winter Games are currently going on, coming to an end tomorrow. A lot that can be learned from the games that are going on. What would you say are some of the big lessons that maybe Canada has picked from the ongoing games that can be carried forward to the FIFA World Cup?
Yeah, and Canada has hosted the Olympics in the winter twice, and so we're experienced at hosting these large tournaments. From what I see, Italy's doing a magnificent job. They had to build a lot of new facilities, and as you know, when you have to deliver facilities on time for a tournament, that can be difficult, but they've succeeded. The ice hockey rink that I was watching last night and will be watching again tomorrow was brand new for this event. Because Canada has hosted so many tournaments, we've learned to start that construction very early, and for the World Cup, we're not building any new facilities. And so that's one of our lessons learned, was making sure that we had the facilities in place to be able to really maximize the hosting and also maximize the economic benefits from a tournament like this.
And as you look at the state of preparedness, Canada is not putting up any facilities, new facilities, because the facilities are there as a result of the major tournaments you've hosted. How ready are they as at now?
Well, we couldn't host the tournament now because the grounds are covered with snow. But once that snow melts, we will be ready to go. And so the tournaments are there, they're ready. These are tournaments used in our national leagues, the stadiums, I mean. And so there's still a lot of infrastructure being put in place to make sure we can successfully host the hundreds of thousands of visitors that we're expecting to have. But we're ready for that.
Well, just looking at, some of what we can expect into the FIFA World Cup. Let's talk about the culture. Kenya is known of nyama choma and stuff. What kind of culture can the fans that are coming to Canada expect to find when they get to Canada?
One of the great things about the World Cup is it brings the countries of the world together. Canada already brings the countries of the world together, and so you'll see in Canada's multicultural population, every country in the world is represented. And so in some ways what we already have in Canada is so nicely aligned with the spirit and vision of the World Cup about bringing people around the world together. And so when people go to Toronto, they will see one of the world's great multicultural cities. They'll be able to go to any neighborhood they want and experience restaurants and food from those countries or any others. You can go to a Kenyan restaurant or an Uzbekistan restaurant or, of course, a Uruguayan restaurant. And so the players and their fans will have their own communities supporting them. Now, Toronto is also famous for its sporting culture. It's home to the Toronto Maple Leafs, who just won the American League and the Baseball Association, the Toronto Raptors, who have recently won a title in the National Basketball Association, and of course the Toronto Maple Leafs, which are one of the great original teams for ice hockey. It also hosts the Hockey Hall of Fame, and so for visitors to Toronto, they can get their full and more of international sporting events. Now, Vancouver is special. It, for example, is also not just multicultural, but more than half of the residents of Vancouver have a first language other than English or French. And so it just shows it's really a place where the world has gathered to live and to work and to thrive. it's on the coast, and so you can experience the sea, but it also has mountains. And so everyone who goes to Vancouver for this tournament has to get to the coast and experience the beaches and get up into the mountains, and it's a wonderful setting. And then, of course, there's wonderful food. Everything's very fresh and natural during the summer months in June and July. We only have one harvest season and one planting season, and so people can expect an abundance of just wonderful fresh things and people living outside during these months.
And as we do this, let's talk about, those who are planning to travel. I mean, there are those visa requirements that are requested. Are you working in collaboration maybe with the other three countries, two countries, that's America and of course Mexico, to just make it easy for those who are planning to travel?
Yeah, fantastic. Let me really underline this point. It's the key thing I want your audience to understand. Having a ticket does not guarantee entry. And so anybody with a ticket or anyone who just wants to travel to Canada to be part of this exciting vibe and to be on the ground still needs to get a visa. And so it's very important, if people are planning to travel to Canada and they don't have a visa, now is the time to apply to get one. All the information is on our websites. It's freely available. Make sure that you complete the applications well, and then we'll be able to process them in time. And so this is a priority for us. For anyone who wants to be in Canada to experience the World Cup, we want to be able to support that. Mexico and the United States have their own visa processes. There is no master visa that covers all three countries, and so some people who might want to go to all three might need to apply 3 times. So the World Cup is important, but it doesn't overcome national legislation and requirements. And so if you want to go to Canada and you're from Kenya, you need a Canadian visa, apply now. Make sure you apply carefully and watch out for scams. We can talk more about that.
Yeah, sure. Now that you've brought it up, how is Canada, addressing the issue of fraudulent actors who are trying to take advantage and maybe, just go out there and take advantage of those who are not aware about the rules, what is supposed to be done in terms of acquiring a valid visa?
So we've seen 2 kinds of scams already. One type is where scammers are offering fake work visas if people pay them some money. That's not true, don't do it. The other is scammers are offering people a guaranteed visa to 1 country or 3 countries if they pay some money. Again, that's a scam, don't do it. It's really important that potential travelers to Canada understand that there is only one pathway to secure a visa to Canada, and that's our official immigration, refugee, and citizenship website. Your audience can go to canada.ca, and that'll take them to any sites that they need. They have to watch out for scammers because they're very clever. They build websites that look legitimate. They'll use branding that looks legitimate. But if it's not canada.ca from a website, it's going to be a scam. If you're required to pay anything that's going to give you a guaranteed access, that's almost certainly a scam. We caution people not to use agents who are promising too much. Complete the application yourself, do so honestly. That's your best chance of getting accepted. And if you have any doubts, there's some things that we encourage people to look out for. Government of Canada will never reach out to people on social media. We'll never write to people on WhatsApp asking for personal information. That's going to be a scam if it happens. So watch out for those fake websites, that fake outreach, and anything else. If it looks like it's too good to be true, it probably is. You just have to follow the regular process. But obviously we have the dedicated processing power to make sure that those who want to get to this tournament and apply legally and completely will get a decision in time.
Are there any efforts to work with the Kenya government to address these issues surrounding immigration?
Yeah, Canada and Kenya have exactly the same view that migration needs to be orderly, it needs to be regular, and it needs to be safe. And we have a great partnership with the government of Kenya, in particular with the State Ministry for Diaspora Affairs, but others as well, so that we can try and get the word out that it is both dangerous and illegal to try and pursue irregular migration streams. And Kenyans, just like Canadians, shouldn't do that. We have joint campaigns where we try and get the word out about the appropriate pathways to follow if someone wants to get to Canada or another country. And we have lots of joint events that we're planning in the coming months to make sure that that message is understood.
And as we do this, there are those, even us as journalists would be playing a key role in terms of just sensitizing the fans who are going out there. From a Canadian government point of view and Kenyan government point of view, are there maybe moments that you'd look at, take advantage of such forums to also educate fans so that they get to know that this is what you need?
Yeah, so you can expect to see more, in particular from the Government of Canada, because the month of March is our Fraud Awareness Month. And so I'm here today in part to start raising awareness about the risks that people face from these fraudulent actors who are trying to take advantage of people. We'll be doing more from our social media accounts at the Canadian High Commission, the Government of Canada around the world. We'll be doing more messaging, and we will be looking for opportunities to continue to partner with the Government of Kenya to make sure that it takes the steps it wants to protect its citizens from these fraudulent actors as well.
And as we do this, of course, there's going to be a big migration into Canada, towards the FIFA World Cup. Definitely, the borders, the gates, the airport, the infrastructure. How ready is Canada in terms of just making sure everything flows right from the airport through to the stadiums and the hotels?
I think that visitors can expect to have a great experience. We want every player, every coach, every team official, and every visitor to enjoy their time in Canada. And so we're making sure that we're making the investments required so that people can experience that smoothly, so long as they've gone through the appropriate process to secure their entry. And when they do, I think they can expect a very welcoming reception, not just at airports, but by the communities that will be hosting these matches. For us, this is a way of showing people not just the best of Canada as a sporting nation, but also as a place to come and do business. Canada has a lot to offer the world, and people want to work and to travel to Canada because of those opportunities. We have safe, high-tech, clean cities. We have a highly educated workforce. We have great natural resources, and so it's a great place to come and see a game and maybe think about business too. And so we know that this will strengthen not just sporting ties, but also economic and commercial ties, and that's a win-win on both sides.
As we talk about, win across Your Excellency, the Ambassador, on a light note, if Canada was to score a goal, would you prefer celebrating in the VIP box or in the fan zone where the action is?
So when it comes to me as a fan, I don't know about you, but it's getting harder and harder to watch matches with other people because I get very passionate. And so my favorite is just to be able to focus on a screen myself so that no one else is looking at my reaction, because I'm high and low with every single moment of the game. Last night, Canada won its semi-final ice hockey match, and we had a viewing party outside at someone's house. And we're all screaming and yelling and falling off our chairs because we can't control ourselves. Now, I won't be at a World Cup match. I don't have access to those tickets. I'm just a regular Canadian citizen when I cross back. So I'm going to be watching with my family, with friends, at a screen, just like I think most Kenyans are going to be consuming this, hopefully through a KBC television broadcast. And yeah, I'm going to live and die. Now, Canada is going to score a goal. I hope we're going to score many goals. We've never won a match in the World Cup, though, and so my hope is not only that we score lots of goals, but we win a couple of those first matches and maybe make it out of that knockout round-robin phase and get into the first round of the playoffs. We've got a difficult group in Group B, but we're looking for our first win this tournament.
In a very tense game, assuming Canada is playing and things are not going your way during halftime, what snack would you go for? Coffee or something else?
It might be something a little stronger than coffee, I'll be honest. I usually look for food that isn't good for me and drinks that aren't good for me when I'm snacking and I'm nervous like that. And I know some of your viewers and audience members probably have the same experience. Last night, there might have been a little bit of Tusker consumed when we were down 2-0 to Finland, but we came back and won that game. And just to say, for ice hockey now in the Olympics close tomorrow, but the sort of premier event, certainly for most Canadians, is the gold medal hockey match. And you won't be surprised, it's a rematch of Canada and the United States. And so that's going to be as tense probably as any World Cup game is going to be for most Canadians.
Interesting, because as you talk about, the Canadians out there, we all understand and know very well Andre de Grace, from athletics, a very good sprinter. Then, of course, we have Wayne Gretzky from hockey, and Canada is very well known for ice hockey and stuff. Are we likely to see some very big names coming out of this FIFA World Cup from a Canadian point? Very big names coming in, though.
Yeah, our men's team right now is ranked about 29th in the world, which is the highest we've ever been. And so we've made real investment in the team, and it's been growing in capability. More of our players are in international clubs, so we have a strong MLS league in North America, but you'll find Canadian players now playing in the Bundesliga and in the English Premier League and in the Spanish Primero. And so our players are getting the international work that they need to come back and form a really strong national team, but we're still only 29th. When it comes to ice hockey and sprinting and some other events, that's where we want to be top 5 all the time. So we still have work to do, but yeah, we're building, and we think that this World Cup is going to be a real launching pad to even greater Canadian strength in football.
Well, interesting, because we are looking forward to a World Cup that many, and of course many Canadians will be hoping that at least that win finally comes through. Last weekend during the HSBC 7, so we witnessed a lot from the Canadian fighting spirit, you know, the never say die attitude. Is that what we are likely to see with the Canadian team, hoping that now that they are hosting, they can at least get something to make everybody cheer around the country?
Yeah, there's a special opportunity, but also a burden when you're the host nation. I think the Kenyan rugby team felt that last weekend. I saw how passionate the fans were in the stadium, going crazy, screaming and yelling, and you could see how the Kenyan team was responding to that. I think there was about 20 of us cheering for the Canadian team, and so they did their best, but they weren't at home. When the men's team at the World Cup plays at home in this tournament for the first time, they'll feel the support from a whole country behind them. And it is never say die, but you'll also find Canadians play by the rules. We play clean, we play hard, and we play to the end of the whistle, but there won't be any funny business. And frankly, that's how Canada likes to relate on all levels, whether that's sporting or international relations. We play by the rules, we play hard, but we like a transparent set of rules that everybody has equal access to and can thrive in, and sports is a great example of that.
Well, sports are always a unifying factor across the world and in everything we do. Remember, it's exactly 110 days to go for the FIFA World Cup, this time hosted by Canada, United States of America and Mexico. 3 countries gearing up to welcome the entire world for the FIFA World Cup. We are going into a short commercial break. When we come back, we want to find out more in terms of what to expect. The Excellency Ambassador Joshua Tabas just told us the culture that is out there on what Kenyans can expect. It is heavily raining in Kenya at the moment. What kind of weather are we likely to experience when we get to Canada? Because we believe, God willing, we shall be in Canada. That after this short commercial break.
One day, while teaching an oral healthcare class, I saw a little boy who kept covering his mouth. It turns out he had lost some of his teeth and felt embarrassed. But as a hygienist, a child's smile means everything to me. That's why Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection unlocks 24-hour cavity defense, a formula boosted with calcium for lifelong smiles. Every child has the right to smile, and a beautiful smile is a healthy smile.
Colgate, #1 oral care brand in the world.
Najua hutaki huruma, lakini mimi ni babako, na nikikuona hivi nasikia uchungu sana.
Ametunyang'anya baba kisha walia haki. Utatambua lini kwamba umefilisika?
Hebu ondoka ama mimi mwenyewe nije nikuondoe. Bila msamaha sisi ni wanyama.
Lakini nani wa kumsamehe mwenzangu?
Nyote.
Sote? Mimi nimekosea wapi?
Nadhani umeanza kutoka na akili yako Hawa.
Usipomwambia aondoke nitakuzaba makofi.
Hawa. Nimechoka na upuzi wako.
Mimi nakupenda. Jehova nafa, nikikuita nimepona.
We live in a generation where we love trends, we love vibes, we love following what is happening on social media, on TikTok. What is vibe? When you hear the word vibe, what do you really think about?
It's very much being in your comfort zone to me. It's a feeling that is enjoyable for you in the situation that you're in.
Yes, something can feel right, can feel fun. Kenye umesema, and not be right. Yes.
Whenever you find yourself questioning a specific trend, I think that's your conscience telling you this is not right.
When you see such promos, you can clearly tell that it has been signed, sealed, and all that is remaining is delivery. Remember, 110 days to go to the FIFA World Cup being hosted by Canada, Mexico, and the United States of America. We are privileged and honored this afternoon to be joined by a very distinguished guest, His Excellency Ambassador Joshua Taba of Canada, with us in studio to just help us unpack Canada's preparations and what we can expect as we head and gear towards the FIFA World Cup. It's about time that everyone will be talking about which team, who is likely to be the last one standing in terms of lifting the trophy. Those who are hoping that Canada will be hosting, and it might just be Canada's time. We are all praying, and may the best team carry the day, after the end of the championship. Your Excellency, first and foremost, I mean, you've been in Kenya less than a year. How has the stay been so far?
It's been fantastic. My family and I, we love East Africa, and we really love Kenya. This is where we wanted to be. And so I felt very privileged when my government asked me to serve here. It's been just under 8 months, but the Kenyan people are so warm, and the city is so magnificent. It's been very easy to settle in. And then from a sporting perspective, my kids are all involved in sports teams at their schools. They're traveling around the continent, competing. And so I get to be a sports fan cheering for them, just like I get to cheer for my national team at the Olympics or the upcoming World Cup.
I mean, now that you've been in Kenya for a year, Kenya is known as the home of champions, the Olympians, and the Kenyan athletes, the Kenyan sporting culture. Have you interacted with it?
A little bit. I'm not an elite runner, you might not have guessed. But I haven't yet been to Eldoret. I want to go and I want to see the training center and really understand better how those fantastic world-class athletes train and live, and that's something that I hope to do in the coming months.
Well, being in Kenya, definitely you will get that opportunity to just get to explore and see the high-altitude training camps that Kenya does have. Let's now go back to the FIFA World Cup. Canada is putting its best foot forward in terms of hosting, this FIFA World Cup and also welcoming the world, the number of fans that will be coming through. What does Canada, hope to gain after the FIFA World Cup? We've known that previous years we've seen countries hosting, then there are gains that come after the FIFA World Cup. What's Canada's hopes in terms of gains after the FIFA World Cup?
Yeah, so the short term, first, this is a huge economic opportunity for Canada. I'll be very honest. We have the stadiums, we have the infrastructure in place. So we're still making a major investment of nearly $100 million to ensure that all the systems are working perfectly to welcome these hundred thousands of visitors to Canada. But we expect through our estimates that this will be an economic benefit of somewhere in the neighborhood of $3 billion for the communities that are hosting these matches. So many thousands of people coming in and spending their money on hospitality. And so these communities will prosper as a result of it. Now, we've had the opposite lesson. We continue to pay for some of the infrastructure we built for the Olympics in Montreal in 1976. And so we've now figured out how to make sure that we have multi-use infrastructure that can support international tournaments, and that way we really reap the benefits from that. And I think Kenya plans to do very much the same thing with the magnificent new stadium that it's building. It'll be for, of course, the big tournament next year, but it'll be used much more than just for that. So that's the short-term benefit, just a massive injection of visitors who are there to have fun and experience the best of Canada. And of course, they'll be supporting the economy as they do so. But as I mentioned before, those tens and tens of thousands of people will also be learning more about a wonderful country that's ready to do business. And so they'll meet people from this very highly educated workforce, and they'll learn about opportunities to partner. And so that will lead to more people setting up businesses in Canada or looking to partner with businesses from Canada. And at a time where we're all looking to do more international economic cooperation, we see this as a great opportunity.
Well, we've seen some incredible stories, emerge from the Milano Cortina, Winter Olympics, which is a very, very big, event. We've also seen Kenya's own ISA competing in the same, Senior Olympics. And as we look at all these are very great moments. What can you say now that you've experienced all this? The excitement is there, the build-up is there, and I know many are just asking what next. And apparently what next is the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, it is. But just to say, before leaving the Olympics, I mentioned before how excited I am for the men's ice hockey gold medal game tomorrow. That's the pinnacle. That's the top. But let's be honest, these are all multi-million-dollar athletes competing against each other. So that's exciting. But the special thing about the Olympics is it's not just about the big and the famous, it's also about local athletes doing their best year after year to qualify and make it. And we have many of those on the Canadian team. These are the unheralded athletes who are supported by their families and their communities and are making every sacrifice to just be able to show their best to the world. Issa Laborde, Kenya's single athlete at the Winter Olympics, is a fantastic example of that. It's wonderful that Kenya has representation in the Winter Olympics. It's not the first time, but he's the one carrying the flag this time. And as a skier myself, it was wonderful to watch him compete. He improved his standing significantly. Just making it through this kind of a World Cup course is not easy, and he's done extremely well. And of course, he's really positioned now for 4 years to be competing again in France on behalf of Kenya. He lives there most of the time. That's where the tournament will be. And so I hope that Kenyans feel like that's an inspiration. When you see someone breaking out of the mold, Kenya might not be known for its Winter Olympics athletes, but here's a young man doing everything he can. And it reminds me a little bit of other Kenyan athletes breaking out of the mold. And so you know how passionate I am for ice hockey. There's a national ice hockey team here in Kenya that not everyone knows about, but the Ice Lions and then the women's team, the Ice Lionesses, again, break new ground every year, and they just show that when there's passion for a sport, even if the infrastructure might not be what you would expect in other places, you really can thrive and make your mark. And so a shout out to the Ice Lions and Ice Lionesses.
Wow, shout out to them for sure. You tried, your hands in American football, in your young career days. And looking at that, now that you tried your hands in American football, would you prefer a high goal-scoring thriller or a tense 1-0 finish?
So it's a universal question about where you get satisfaction from. And I admit I do like action, and so I'll usually prefer a match with more back and forth, more scoring. When it's a real nail biter and you're just hoping for that first goal, it can be excruciating. I don't know about you, but one of the most exciting sporting events I've ever witnessed was the final of the last World Cup. And seeing Argentina and France go back and forth, and then Argentina coming from behind, so lots of goals, so much excitement. I almost killed myself falling off my chair. That to me was the pinnacle of a fantastic sporting event, and I can only hope that we get near towards a final for this FIFA World Cup with that level of excitement.
So you prefer the it's not over till it's over moment?
It's not over till it's over. Again, in that semi-final Olympic hockey game last night, Canada was down 2-0, clawed its way back and scored the winning goal with only 30 seconds left. And so, yeah, give me that kind of back and forth game any day over a very tight 1-0 match.
Fantastic. Now that you mentioned that, we've seen a connection, of Kenyan athletes. We cannot mention our very own former Harambee Stars captain, Victor Wanyama, who even captained FC Montreal, in Canada. And we are seeing lots of big clubs from the Canadian, leagues, which is very, very critical. Canada is coming to be a very big sporting nation, and hosting the FIFA World Cup can only make it get better in terms of improving its sporting prowess.
Yeah, I agree. The FIFA World Cup brings the eyeballs, brings the attention, and with that brings a call from Canadians for their own team to get better support, better financing. And so that tends to be the bump that some of our teams get from the Olympics, and I think we see the Canadian men's team has been on a solid trajectory. Now, our women's team has been exceptional, and Canada hosted the Women's World Cup in 2015, and so that was also a great experience in building our capacity to host a tournament of this magnitude. But for the men, up to 29, again, I won't say the sky's the limit, but they can certainly keep improving. And you're right, we've had fantastic Kenyan participation in the Canadian sporting scene. Whether that is participating in football clubs or, for example, coming and winning marathons. I don't know if you know, but in the last Ottawa Marathon, I think Kenyans swept all the positions.
Correct.
And so we love welcoming Kenyans to Canada to compete. We love that exchange. Because that's really what it's all about. It's about being respectful of competitors from other countries and ensuring that everybody has an equal opportunity to compete and thrive, and may the best person win.
May the best person carry the day. Just to remind you that if you're planning to travel to Canada, as the ambassador has mentioned, all you need to do is go through the right channels, get a valid visa, so that you don't end up getting, into fraudsters, and by the end of the day, you end up not being given entry into Canada. A ticket is not a valid, entry into Canada. You still need to go through the right channels in terms of getting your visa for the same. It's a matter of days now that we are counting down to the FIFA World Cup. Are we likely to see some fun zones, some fun partying right here in the country to also be part of the Canadian culture during the FIFA World Cup?
Yeah, I think you'll see communities really open themselves up to the visitors for these games. And so many of the visitors will have tickets. Many of the visitors won't have tickets. We know people will just want to be in Vancouver, and they'll want to be in Toronto so that they can go to these massive fan zones that will be established for people who aren't in the stadium, so they can still celebrate. We're still waiting for the final qualification, but there's a decent chance that Italy will qualify as one of the remaining 6 teams, and there's a good chance that Canada's first match on June 12th will be between Canada and Italy in Toronto. Now, Toronto has a huge Italian community. There's a whole part of the city called Little Italy. And so imagine how exciting it's going to be in Little Italy, in Toronto, while that game is going place. Everybody cheering for both games and frankly losing their minds. They won't know what to do with themselves.
Interesting. As we start, winding down the discussion, one key message that probably you'd want to give out to the Kenyan fan is what you call in Canada unauthorized agents, unauthorized representatives. Is this something they need to really watch out for? Because they will come up with scams, fake jobs, offers, and crooked agents. How do they avoid this? They go to what channels, a website, so that they get the valid visa requirements?
Perfect. Thank you for asking. And again, let me really just underline this point. Having a ticket to a game in Canada does not itself grant entry to the country. Kenyans require a visa. The only way to get a visa is to apply online. You do that through our websites, which are all based from canada.ca. We do have authorized agents in Canada. There's a list of them on that same website. But be very careful if you have an agent offering you facilitation to get a visa. Most of the time in Kenya, those agents are not going to be helpful for you, and they may even lead to you being permanently prohibited for 5 years from applying if they present fraudulent information on your behalf. And so my advice to you is, if you want to go to Canada, complete the application yourself, do it thoroughly, make sure that you are as clear and transparent about both your intentions and situations as possible, and do it now. Don't wait any longer. We need time to process all these visas. Watch out for agents that are offering you any kind of a work permit or guaranteed visa for a fee. That's likely a scam. We're not building any stadiums and hiring workers for the World Cup, and so if someone's offering you that kind of a job, it's a scam. And watch out for dummy and fake websites that are meant to look like the Government of Canada but aren't actually at canada.ca, because they're almost always a scam as well. People are trying to scam you and take your money. They'll use FIFA World Cup as an opportunity. Don't fall for it. And then if it does happen, unfortunately, and someone does take advantage of you, don't just be embarrassed. I know it doesn't feel good, but report the scam to the police and let us know at the Canadian High Commission so that we can try and take steps to take them down as well.
As we start, winding down this discussion, what would that one message be to the fans in terms of expectation, now that you've clearly called out the visa requirements, the do's and don'ts? What is that message that maybe you'd give them in terms of Canada ready to host them?
Canada is ready to welcome the world for the FIFA World Cup in just a couple months. We know that fans from around the world are going to travel to Canada, and we're going to make sure that they have a fantastic time. We want everyone coming to Canada to really make the most of their time there, to experience Canada's culture, to experience Canada's beauty, to get out of the cities, but to see the matches in the cities as well. They can expect a very warm welcome from the Canadian people who are so excited to be hosting this tournament. And so ensure that your pathway to Canada is legal and safe by applying through formal channels. Watch out for ticket scams. Those are on the rise as well. And then make sure that your travel sticks to the purpose that you stated. So you go, have a great time, and then come back to Kenya, and then we'll be ready to welcome you back to Canada over and over. But Canada-Kenya ties are strong, and we just want to make sure that people understand some of the risks out there without dampening their enthusiasm, because this is going to be a fantastic tournament, and we want everyone to come and enjoy.
Your Excellency, Ambassador Joshua Taba, thank you very much. We appreciate you making time to be with us this afternoon out of your busy schedule, hoping that we can invite you again as we draw closer and closer, to the first whistle of the FIFA World Cup that Canada will be hosting.
Well, that's very kind. If you have me back before the tournament, you'll find me still relaxed and happy. During the tournament, I might get a bit tense, but we can do our best at that point as well. But I'd love to come back and talk to your audience again. We're so excited to have this privilege of hosting the FIFA World Cup along with our neighbors, the United States and Mexico. And so, yeah, it's going to be a really exciting few months building up to the tournament. Thank you for having me today.
I won't ask you who you'd be secretly cheering.
There's no secrets. It's Canada, Canada, Canada. And then after that, in the event that Canada doesn't make the final, I cheer for the places that have been closest to my heart, countries that I've had the opportunity to live in, and sometimes players I've had the chance to meet. But right now, it's Canada. Let's go right to the final and win this thing.
Canada all the way. Wishing you all the best, and thank you very much for making time to be with us this afternoon.
Thank you. A real pleasure.
Thank you very much. That has been a discussion with the Canadian ambassador to Kenya, Mr. Joshua Taba, with us this afternoon to just help us unpack the preparations for the same. Remember, this is KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner. And of course, this is where the action is. On behalf of everyone who's been behind this transmission, the transmission controller, the director, the producer, the cameraman, the sound technicians, not forgetting the Isikuti dancers, and of course, Your Excellency, the ambassador, we want to say thank you very much. And as we always say, kuona na kesho ni majalio yake Mwenyezi Mungu. But for now, we wrap it the Kenyan way with the Isikuti dancers in studio. Keep it KBC Channel 1. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure hosting you. I'm looking forward.
Halo, habari ndugu. Unaongea na Joffrey hapa.
Habari Joffrey.
Mimi nakupigia kuhusu ile request yako ya kupata connection ya stima. Sisi tunaweza kufanyia deal, ulipe pesa kidogo tu.
When the deal is too good, think twice.
Lakini kitu moja inanishangaza na wewe.
Hii ni kuhatarisha maisha yenu nyi wenyewe na pia ya wale mnaenda kutokea kwa manyumba zao.
We are diving into the mind. Stay vigilant to get safely and legally connected to the power grid.
Koti hii imewapata na hatia, na mkiwa mkuridhika na uamuzi wa koti, mko na siku 14 za kurudisha apili.
Shortcut ni ya wakora. Malipo yote ya Kenya Power hupitia channels rasmi peke yake.
We mzee, hizo ni gani unajaribu kutufanyia?
Tumekuja kuwashika, muda boss utamulikwa. Tumekuja kuwashika.
Mimi nakupenda, Jehova Rafa, nikikuita nimepona.
We live in a generation where we love trends, we love vibes, we love following what is happening on social media, on TikTok. What is vibe? When you hear the word vibe, what do you really think about?
It's very much being in your comfort zone to me. It's a feeling